Hey, Trump is going scorched earth on Davos. What's this?
Canada gets a lot of freebies from us. By the way, they should be grateful also, but they're not. I watched your prime minister yesterday. He wasn't so grateful. But they should be grateful to us. Canada lives because of the United States. Remember that, Mark, the next time you make your statements.
Just says his fucking name. Jesus. He sounds like a mob boss? No.
Us. Canada, grateful to us. But they should be grateful to us.
That sounds like Palpatine. It does. That's Palpatine.
I realized in that conversation that the United States is keeping the whole world afloat. Many places, I could give you 6, 7 places just in the people. 6, 7 places just in the people in this little area. I know every one of them. They're looking down. They don't want to see me. They don't want to stare me in the eyes. But they're taking advantage of, everybody took advantage of the United States. But I've been very fair, and I gave them a tariff, and it was fine. But I realized that without us, it's not Switzerland anymore. Without us, it's not any of the countries that are represented here. And we want to work with the countries. We want to work with them. We're not looking to destroy them.
So, I mean, yeah, basically he's saying that the U.S. protects them. That's it. Oh, here we go. Oh, no, this is the new one? Yeah, here we go.
To embrace the possibilities of tomorrow, we must reject the perennial prophets of doom and their predictions. To embrace the possibilities of tomorrow, we must reject the perennial prophets of doom and their predictions of the apocalypse. They are the heirs of yesterday's foolish fortune tellers, and I have them, and you have them, and we all have them. And they want to see us do badly, but we don't let that happen.
Oh, this is old. I was about to say, yeah, I was like, how does he look? He even got the same pin on. Because that's how I thought it was the new one. I did. I saw the same pin, and I was like, wait a minute, what the fuck is going on? You blind as shit? No, I am not. What happened? Here's what happened. I thought the camera was bad. Let's go back. We're going to look at the next one. Here we go. Actually, I'm just going to watch this.
Overpopulation crisis in the 1960s, mass starvation in the 70s.
Let's see how right he was.
And an end of oil in the 1990s. Mm-hmm. These alarmists always demand the same thing, absolute power to dominate, transform, and control.
So he just goes to this to talk shit to them straight to their face.
Every aspect of our lives. We will never let radical socialists destroy our economy, wreck our country, or eradicate our liberty. America will always be the proud, strong, and unyielding bastion of freedom. To embrace...
Man. Yep, and watching an old video, somebody said it was a new one. I wasn't sure if it was, and it turns out it was an old one, actually. This is 2020. But, again, I think he's still right. I mean, he absolutely was right. Anyway, we'll go to this one after that. Here we go.
So now our country and the world face much greater risks than it did ever before because of missiles, because of nuclear, because of weapons of warfare that I can't even talk about. Mm-hmm. 2 weeks ago, they saw weapons that nobody ever heard of. They weren't able to fire one shot at us. They said, what happened? Everything was discombobulated. They said, we've got them in our sights. Press the trigger, and nothing happened. No anti-aircraft missiles went up. There was one that went up about 30 feet and crashed down right next to the people that sent it. They said, what the hell is going on? Those defensive systems were made by Russia and by China.
How'd that go?
So they're going to go back to the drawing boards, I guess. So now our country...
All right, well, there it is. Okay, so they gotta rethink that whole weapon system, I guess. There we go. And discombobulate you, I guess so. Talking trash, I guess, yeah. Nick Shirley, no, we'll look at the Nick Shirley thing after this.
Somalian bandits, can you believe that they turned out to be higher IQ than we thought?
I saw this one, okay? And anyway, let's see if I can pull up the next one.
The United States cares greatly about the people of Europe. We really do.
Oh, we love Europe.
I am derived from Europe, Scotland and Germany.
Same. Plus Ireland.
100% Scotland, my mother. 100% German, my father. Mm-hmm. And we believe deeply in the bonds we share with Europe as a civilization. I want to see it do great. That's why issues like energy, trade, immigration, and economic growth must be central concerns to anyone who wants to.
I mean, this is true. Like, Europe is our cultural ally. Europe and Canada are our closest cultural allies. A lot of them speak English. We have a lot of the same shared heritage. Like, really, I mean, these are three. Like, that's the case, right? I mean, a lot, like, I'm German, I'm, like, mostly German, but, like, also Irish and Scottish, too. And so not anymore. No, I think it's definitive. It absolutely is true. And a lot of people's ancestry, like, at least all the white people here in America, I'd say probably 95% of the white people in America are actually European. Right? Like, I mean, how did they get here? Did they spawn here? One of them in the past didn't.
See a strong and united West, because Europe and those countries have to do their thing. They have to get out of the culture that they've created over the last 10 years. It's horrible what they're doing to themselves. They're destroying themselves. It's beautiful, beautiful places. We want strong allies, not seriously weakened ones. We want Europe to be strong.
I don't understand how Europe has been totally like ideologically captured. Because it feels like any time that I see anything from Europe and any of the, like people protesting or anything like that, there's so many people that are in Europe that see how just chaotic it is bringing in all of these the illegal aliens, right? Women in power. Is it really that simple? Is it just women? Are women really I mean, okay, is it really that simple, guys? Are women just the problem for everything? Holy fuck. Damn, I thought so. I always knew this. Swear to Christ, yes, man. I do think that women are emotional thinkers, and the reason why you have more migrants is I think that, like, the moment that you show, like, some boat full of kids, and then, you show that to, like, 100 men and 100 women, I bet there's going to be a bunch more women that are going to say, let's get rid of borders, right? I think it's definitely true, but I think it is more complicated than that. But, yeah.
Home ownership has always been a symbol of health and vigor of American society, but that goal fell out of reach for millions and millions of people in the Biden era because interest rates went up so high. Today, I'm taking action to bring back this bedrock of the American dream. In recent years, Wall Street giants and institutional investment firms, many of you are here, many of you are good friends of mine, many of you are supporters. Sorry to do this, Joe, I'm so sorry. But you've driven up housing prices by purchasing hundreds of thousands of single-family homes, and it's been a great investment for them.
Oh, my God. This is a level of winning I didn't think that we'd ever unlock. I didn't. This is crazy. I'm so happy to see this. We need to these big companies and these people that buy up all of these houses and then they treat them like investment properties. There's a reason why we have commercial and residential zoning. So how are you really not basically and this is the question, right? Is that you take a step back and you ask yourself, what really does it matter between commercial and residential zoning? Well, when you have all of these houses and they're being used as commercial assets to just be rented out infinitely, is that basically not residential? I don't think it is. I don't at all. So I think this is totally right. He should have gone after this. It's important. It is. And it's not, I know it's not legally the case, but it's against what I think the essence of owning a home and being in a neighborhood and being in a residential area is. And fundamentally, that essence of being part of a neighborhood, being part of a community, having a house, owning a house, living in a community with other people around you, being able to pay off that house and retire and live there. This is the American dream. And it's the dream of the whole world. Like, it's not like in Japan they don't want this. In China they want this. In Russia they want this. In Kenya they want this. Everybody in the world wants this. So if we don't have the ability to do that, what the fuck is the point of all this? What is the point? It's a big part of the American dream. Well, yeah, it is. It absolutely is. So I'm glad to see the price the fuck out of residential areas with their algorithms and drive up inflation. Well, the algorithms are just basically a loophole through making an actual cartel. The algorithms are a mathematical cartel, but because it's not being done by them directly, technically it's not a cartel. This is very obviously an exploit. They are obviously taking advantage of people. They're obviously doing this, and I don't see how anybody can be okay with this. It's so clear to me, at least, that basically this is what people do, right? They buy up these houses and then they use them as rental properties and Airbnbs. Like, I looked at Airbnb Austin and I saw everywhere in my area, there were just a million fucking people that had Airbnbs. Like, I swear to God, there's almost more of it. Like, on every street, there was like 2 Airbnbs. What the fuck is going on? Well, I'll tell you what's going on. It's that they're buying up these houses, they're renting them out incrementally, and they're making way more money by it. I think this is ridiculous. It has to stop. Yeah, it has to fucking stop. And I think that the big, and here's another component, right, is that the big corporations that own all of these houses, they do own a lot, but they're still only a small piece of the pie. You have to go after the individuals and the LLCs that are owning 200 of them at a time, because the collectives that own like 100 or 200 at a time, they're the ones that are the real problem. That's the actual issue. You need to make a rule that if you're an individual, you can't own more than like 5 houses. And if you do, you can't be renting them out. You can buy 1 million houses if you want, but you can't use them as commercial assets. That's the issue. 2, I think 5 is reasonable. Who the fuck goes over 5? I think it's more like, yeah, I mean, really. I mean, like, okay, somebody has like 3 houses. Okay, sure. Somebody's a multimillionaire. They fly around the country. They've got 3 houses. Reasonable. Okay, sure, whatever. You've got a summer house. It's cheap. It's out in the middle of fucking nowhere. I think it's okay. But like, you can't be selling, or you can't be doing houses like where you have like more than like fucking 5 of them and you're just renting them out, right? It's crazy how bad this is. Increase your property tax 1% per home owned. Yeah, I don't know. Who needs more than one? Rent if you travel, bro. I'm just telling you what people that are really rich do. Like, I'm not telling you that this is a justification. I'm just giving you an explanation for why people do certain things, okay? I don't want to argue with you about this. I'm just saying this is what people do. Just ban companies from buying a bunch? What about duplexes? That's 2. What do you mean 2? I never said 2. Why would I ever say 2? I'm not saying 2. The problem is they're buying all of these houses, and then they're making people have to pay more money for them, and they're pricing everyone out.
Often as much as 10% of houses on the market. You know, the crazy thing is a person can't get depreciation on a house, but when a corporation buys it, they get depreciation. Okay.
Wow. I never even thought of that. I have never thought of that. Holy shit. That's a loophole? That's obviously a loophole. This is the kind of stuff that I'm talking about. There are just these exploits in the tax system and in the tax code that you can do this. It's bullshit. So, okay, let me explain. Some people might not understand this. So depreciation is, okay, so let's say here's your PS5, all right? And here's the one game that's for the PS5. So the year that you buy it, let's say it is $500, okay? The next year, it's $490. The next year, it's $480. Well, what these companies can do is they can use the depreciation and then write that off of their taxes and not have to pay as much money that they should, because now they're writing it off and they're able to not have to pay this. It's a tax cut. Yeah. So basically, this is a minus $10. This is a minus $10. Why the fuck are they paying minus $10 on a residential home? It's a scam. It's actually a fucking scam. But normal people can't have depreciation on their house. And by the way, depreciation is when an asset degrades in value. So anybody knows this with amortization or any sort of like asset ownership inside of a large company. And again, large companies deal in 7 and 8 figure decisions for this all the time. So the fact is, and that's a small company. Big companies are 9 and 10 figures of depreciation. I'm not even serious. Cars also, yeah. Cars, another great example. Yes. If you're able to write this off your taxes, if you're owning these houses, then you should absolutely be able to do that whenever you're doing this too. This is crazy. I'm fairly sure Old Donald has participated in this too. Old Donald has participated in this too. Good. Let's get some of... You know what we should do? We should have the Somalian Samaritan program, where we can get some of these guys from Somalia that really understand these scams, and we give them solid citizenship, and we say, listen, bro, I want you to tell us how this works. I want you to break it down. I want you to make a flow chart and everything. Yep, the good Somalian Samaritan. That's hard to say. But have them do this, right? Catch me if you can. Yes, definitely. And you have these guys be like, all right, so wait a minute. So you're saying they go on WhatsApp and then they do, okay, so then they send it to this account, right? Okay, and then the account sends it back to their brother. Okay, and then their brother owns, okay, so then there's the car, but then the car is registered in the LLC. Okay, that's in the LLC, but the LLC is in the mother's. Okay, I got it. All right. And then so then they write that off and then they get the rebate from that. Okay, got it. And that's it. Yeah, the good Somalian Samaritan. Because I agree, we need to get these scammers in the government. We do. We need to get them in the government and have them figure this out.
Something we're going to have to think about, too. I don't know if too many people think about that. You buy a corporation.
I've never thought about that. He's right.
Buy 500, everything as a person can't get depreciation on a house. But when a corporation buys it, they get depreciation. Okay, that's something we're going to have to think about, too.
It's ridiculous. Delete it right now. This is... What a crazy fucking exploit.
I don't know if too many people think about that. You buy a corporation, they buy 500 houses. They buy hundreds of thousands. They buy 500 houses. They can take depreciation.
Yep.
A person sweats...
And think about how much money that is. So if the depreciation on a house is, let's say, $1,000 a year, think about, like, that's basically rent for 1 month. You're getting free rent for a month if you're depreciating the house at $1,000 a year. And how much... Actually, let me look at this. How much does a house per year U.S. average? $1 to 2% annually. Okay, so if it's 1 to 2% annually, and then the house price is, let's say, $400,000, that's $4,000. Most houses don't depreciate? Really? Really, your house doesn't depreciate. So you don't really ever need to get a new roof any type of years. You the roof just is infinite. It's infinite roofs. The roof is just infinite. You never run out of roofs. Yes. It's location based. You're talking about the land. That's different.
And works and buys one house they can't. But homes are built for
That's
people.
Different? Oh, it's different. Oh, okay. So then it's true. So then I'm right. Okay.
Not for corporations, and America will not become a nation of renters. We're not going to do that. That's why I have signed an executive order banning large institutional investors from buying single-family homes. It's just not fair to the public. They're not able to buy it.
Keep in mind, this is something that a lot of these like pretend socialists love to complain about. They love to talk about how bad this is, but they never brought this up. I have not seen a single one of them make a single comment that any of them said that what he did was good. This is obviously good. There's no reason why this shouldn't have happened. And I just want y'all to see that, just to see how transparent some of those people are. They're bullshitters. Total bullshitters.
House. And I'm calling on Congress to pass that ban into permanent law, and I think they will.
I think they should. I mean, honestly, like, it's something Democrats have to get behind, basically, right? Because so much of their base is like, you know, radical left-wing people. And I wonder if they will go against this just to spite Trump. Executive order sadly means nothing until it's codified. Well, it should be codified. It absolutely should be. I think they say things like, no, you don't have to hand it to them. Yeah, I mean, it's obviously a good thing. I'm very happy about this, and I would love to see this happen more. I would. Because this is and the other thing, too, is that this is a direct existential problem that Americans are facing at this very moment. This isn't a theoretical Russia attacks us and we have to have Greenland or something like that. That's like a bullshit theoretical argument, like who knows. But this is something that's immediate, direct, specific, and personal. This absolutely should be the focus. It's one of the reasons why I think Mamdani won in New York. It's because he focused on immediate, direct, and personal things. It's kind of what I said at the beginning of the stream about COVID. And the reason why COVID was so activating for politics is because so many people were now being, basically they're now being affected by politics directly for the first time in their life. This should be the main focus in America? Yeah, I think so. Removing property tax would take away that loophole for the most part? Maybe, I don't know. In some places, they do have no property tax. It's why Trump welcomed him. He'll support him. Yeah, I mean, Mamdani, it's the same. Like, he has a lot of, like, economically, I think he has a lot of ideas that I agree with. But sometimes I don't really agree with, like, the reason why he has the idea. But ultimately, I mean, again, it's like an 80-20 thing. I really agree with him on, like, 20% of things. And I, like, totally disagree with him on, like, the other 80%, right?
In our hemisphere. So we did it for ourselves also. And then after the war, which we won it big. Without us, right now, you'd all be speaking German and a little Japanese, perhaps. After
the very, very muted laughter.
Perhaps.
It's like 3 people laughing.
After the war, we gave Greenland back to Denmark.
Yeah.
How stupid were we to do that? But we did it.
I don't know if we really I don't think we gave it back to them, right? But we could have taken it then, but we didn't. I mean, sure.
You're supposed to make money with energy, not lose money. Every time that goes around, you lose $1,000. You're supposed to make money with energy, not lose money. Here in Europe, we've seen the fate that the radical left tried to.
Can you imagine being somebody that, like, I mean, this is the president that's talking about a windmill as $1,000, and then one of his biggest detractors in the country that's also really well known, that runs the most profitable state in the country, is talking about sucking his dick, and that he's a dinosaur. That, like, he either has to fuck you or kill you. Like, really, you think about this, like, what a culture shock this must be for some of these, like, they like to think they're, like, all high and mighty as Europeans. They're like, wait, what the fuck? Like, what the hell's going on here? What is this?
Impose on America. They tried very hard. Germany now generates 22% less electricity than it did in 2017. And it's not the current Chancellor's
NATO's
fault.
gay?
He's
Is that true?
The problem. He's going to do a great job. But what they did before he got there, I guess that's why he got there. And electricity prices are 64% higher. The United Kingdom produces just 1/3 of the total energy from all sources that it did in 1999. Think of that,
wow.
1/3.
What happened?
And they're sitting on top of the North Sea, one of the greatest reserves anywhere in the world. But they don't use it. And that's one reason why their energy has reached catastrophically low levels with equally high prices. High prices, very low levels. Think of that, 1/3. Wow. You're sitting on top of the North Sea. And they like to say, well, that's depleted. It's not depleted. It's got 500 years. Push? They haven't even found the oil. The North Sea is incredible. They don't let anybody drill. Environmentally, they don't let them drill.
Yeah.
They make it impossible for the oil companies to go. They take 92% of the revenues. So the oil companies say, we can't do it. They came to see me. Is there anything you can do? I want Europe to do great. I want UK to do great. sitting on one of the greatest energy sources in the world, and they don't use it.
Government's focused on net zero? Why are they focused on net zero if I mean, like, why would you give a fuck about that if you can't even, like, aren't they buying energy from Russia? And isn't Russia attacking Ukraine? Like, what's the logic there? But you're focused more on climate change than Russia using bombs? Like, I don't understand this.
In fact, their electricity prices have soared 139%.
Seems stupid.
There are windmills all over Europe.
I wonder which one's more important, guys.
There are windmills all over the place, and they are losers. Mm-hmm. One thing I've noticed is that the more windmills a country has...
He hates windmills. Honestly, like, I've never seen anybody hate windmills. I mean, obviously, like, who else? I mean, Don Quixote. But like, besides that, like, who else hates windmills this much?
The more money that country loses and the worse that country is doing. China makes almost all of the windmills. And yet I haven't been able to find any wind farms in China. Did you ever think of that? It's a good way of looking at it. They're smart. China's very smart. They make them, they sell them for a fortune. They sell them to the stupid people that buy them. But they don't use them themselves. They put up a couple of big wind farms, but they don't use them. They just put them up to show people what they could look like. They don't spin. They don't do anything. They use a thing called coal, mostly. China goes with the coal. They go with oil and gas.
Is incorrect. China does use wind power.
At nuclear a little bit, and they're doing just fine.
So, yeah, I think we should use nuclear power way more, too, honestly. I really do. I don't know why it hasn't happened. And, no, I don't understand that at all. But who the fuck knows? Anyway, let's go. Keep going. Here it is.
It could be more than 19 billion. Can you believe that? That's just one state. If we were able to cut out 50% of the fraud, 50%, and we should be able to do better than that.
Yeah.
We would have a balanced budget without having to talk about even growth. So we have a lot of options, but we're working very hard on that. That's a big deal. It's not just.
If you want to get rid of the fraud, you have to take the people that are doing the fraud and put them in jail. You have to put everybody involved in jail. Like any of the people that are aware of it. And this is the reason why fraud never, like, there's no incentive to stop defrauding. Like, you know, you get a fine, maybe you get 6 months in jail, that's it. You've got to put the people that are involved with this, especially on like a federal level, you have to put them in jail for like 10 years. I would say maybe even longer. Even white collar fraud? Well, yeah, of course. Yeah, duh. Obviously. Like, if you want to, so do you want to get rid of fraud or do you want to feel good? I want to get rid of fraud. So if you want to get rid of fraud, put them in jail for 20 years. You're going to see a lot less fraud. That's how it works. Yeah, it's common sense, man. What dumbass typed that? Well, I mean, people don't understand, right? Is that, like, a lot of these people, they do it and they get away with it because there's not any punishment.
The protests, the fake protests done by agitators and, professional. It could be more than 19.
And also hobos. Don't forget about hobos. And I'll get to this in a minute. President Trump declares Somalia isn't a real country. You can just do things. Yeah, I guess so. And anyway, so let me go back. I'll look at this here. Okay.
In recent decades, it became conventional wisdom in Washington and European capitals that the only way to grow a modern Western economy was through ever-increasing government spending, unchecked mass migration, and endless foreign imports. The consensus was that so-called dirty jobs and heavy industry should be sent elsewhere, that affordable energy should be replaced by the Green New Scam, and that countries could be propped up by importing new and entirely different populations from faraway lands. This was the path that sleepy Joe Biden administration.
Oh my God. He just going out there and saying it. I've been waiting on this for a while, huh? Oh my, I've been trying to say this for years. Thank fucking God. This is amazing.
And many other Western governments very foolishly followed, turning their backs on everything that makes nations rich and powerful and strong.
Yeah.
And there's so much potential in so many nations. The result was record budget and trade deficits and a growing
that is nuts.
Sovereign deficit driven by the largest wave of mass migration in human history. We've never seen anything like it. Quite frankly, many parts of our world are being destroyed before our very eyes, and the leaders don't even understand what's happening. And
oh my God. He's actually saying it. I've been waiting on this for so long. What's it? What was this here? Somebody's upset. Go back. You said, pull me up. You're off base. There's too many times you typed it. You're insistent. It's annoying. I did see everything. I saw you spam it multiple times. You know you're not supposed to spam. I've said you're not supposed to spam. I didn't pull you up because it was a pointless conversation. You didn't bring an argument. You just said you're off base. I don't want to listen to that. It's stupid. I don't want to hear you're wrong.
The ones that do understand aren't doing anything about it.
The fuck?
Virtually.
Yeah, no, I think that really, it's crazy that I like he...
In recent decades, it became conventional wisdom in Washington
and they try to do this and just import more and more people, right? You're wrong. Yeah, guys, I got to have a little bit more to that. And so what are you, Sauron? Well, I can just read the messages and then base it off of that, right? It's really not that complicated. So yeah, and what is this? We got another one right here. Trump's on one today. Clintons are officially held in contempt of Congress. Well, wait a minute. So Nick Shirley is testifying today. Trump just straight up says mass migration is bad. He calls people that are coming from... He says that there's a tier list of immigrants. And now they're also putting Bill Clinton and they're being officially held in contempt of court. All this is happening today. What a day. I'll be right back. And then I'll look at that one, okay? All right, good. Maybe they can send in the military, finally.
Mr. President, the Danish foreign minister rejected your call to negotiate on Greenland. What will...
I didn't call him.
No, sorry. The Danish foreign minister rejected what you said in your speech that you were hoping to negotiate. Mr. President, the Danish foreign minister rejected your call to negotiate on Greenland.
What a dumb bitch.
No, sorry. The Danish foreign minister rejected what you said in your speech that you were hoping to negotiate.
Okay, great. Yeah, it's one-liners. I don't remember this at all. Okay, let me see if there's any more of these that are worth looking at. But yeah, this was a this was a pretty big one. And let me see if I missed any of the other ones that you know, I didn't find on Twitter before the beginning of the day. Let's see here. Defends America first. Okay, what's this here? Climate change. I mean, I don't think that, again, like, climate change matters a lot, but I think that you know, you can't make everybody's lives worse just to do climate change, right? I mean, I don't think you should do that. It depends on what the degree of it is, and if, like, you're doing it and it's at the expense of everybody, then what's really the point? Especially whenever a lot of the climate change models that people have come up with have been proven to be untrue. Like, if the climate change, you know, restrictions make people's quality of life worse, then maybe it's not really the best option. I think there's smart ways to do it, and there's ways to develop in that way. Oh, here, whoa, wait, whoa. Wait a minute.
One of the biggest barriers to saving for a down payment has been surging credit card debt. The profit margin for credit card companies now exceeds 50%.
Oh, I thought it was 40%.
One of the
a 50% margin? What the fuck?
Biggest. And they charge Americans interest rates of 28%, 30%, 31%, 32%. Whatever happened to usury? So to help our citizens...
Sorry, I hit the wrong button.
Whatever happened to usury? So to help our citizens recover from the Biden disaster, all caused by this horrible precedent, I'm asking Congress to cap credit card interest rates at 10% for 1 year.
Holy shit. Thank fucking God. Bro. Holy shit, only a year? Well, yeah, because once you get the foot in the door with that, it's not like people are going to be okay with it going back up to fucking 30%, right? This is insane. Yeah, economically stupid idea. Well, okay, so you care about the economic... I don't care about that. I don't. If these credit card companies, if their business model is built around usury, then maybe they don't have a good business model. Why is it that, like, you're operating under the pretense that these credit card companies have some sort of God-given right to be able to scam people and then just extort them for huge amounts of money? I don't think so. I don't agree with that. I think that's retarded. It's bullshit.
And this will help millions of Americans save for a home. They have no idea they're paying 28%.
It's nuts.
They go out there a little late in their payment and they end up losing their house.
What's usury? Usury is charging an exorbitant amount of interest in order to basically put somebody into debt forever for borrowing money. That's the reason why. 50% was promised them 3,000 years ago. Well, it's time to end the it's time to break the promise. We would go to jail if we charged that amount of interest, but not bank companies. We got people now defending banks. I know. It should be classified under predatory lending practices. Absolutely. You know what I think they should also do? They should do that with student loans. I think they should. If you get groomed for 12 years going to school and then you finally take out a student loan because every person in your life that you trust has told you that it's the right decision, is it really something that you should be held accountable for the rest of your life? I don't think so. I think it's ridiculous. I think it's obviously manipulative and it's predatory completely. You're grooming kids. If somebody did that to a kid in like a sexual way, they'd go to jail. Maybe the people that are doing it in financial ways should go to jail too.
Biden disaster, all caused by this. Some Americans at 10% for 1 year.
Wow. That I would be so happy about this. I would be. This is amazing.
And this will help millions of Americans save for a home. They have no idea they're paying 28%. They go out there a little late in their payment and they end up losing their house.
Yep.
It's terrible.
Why the fuck do we let that happen? Why the fuck are we doing that? Why are we putting up with this bullshit? It's absolute shit, man. Oh, he's talking about Minnesota inside of the... Okay, here we go.
But equally importantly, we're cracking down on more than $19 billion in fraud that was stolen by Somalian bandits. Can you believe that Somalia? They turned out to be higher IQ than we thought. I always say these are low IQ people. How did they go into Minnesota and steal all that money?
Oh, my God.
And we have, you know, they're pirates. They're good pirates, right? But we shoot them out of...
They're... Jesus, guys.
...the water just like we shoot the drug boats out. They're not pirating too many boats lately, do you notice?
True.
When they go out into those boats, they want to take over a $1.5 billion tanker, loaded up with oil. And they say, we're going to blow up your boat. They have powerful weapons. You hit the side of the boat, you blow the whole thing up.
Yeah.
The insurance companies are petrified. So they say, just give them the boat. We'll give them money instead. And I don't do that. We blow them right the hell out of the water. We see them going out. We blow them out of the water. We don't have any pirates so much anymore. We do.
I haven't heard that much about the Somalian pirates. That's kind of true. Yeah.
They won't be there long.
Now they're in Minnesota instead.
We've cut down with the hitting of the boats that are loaded up with drugs, including submarines. Can you believe they actually buy small, they call mini subs, very fast. They're meant for drugs. We've knocked out two of them. The Democrats say they were fishing. You have ruined.
I love how they say they were fishing. These people can figure out and read a license plate from a satellite, and you think they don't know what's on a boat? Are you kidding me? They were able to extract the president of another country and shut down their entire electrical grid, and you think that they don't know what's on a boat? Are you kidding me? How can you even think this?
Somebody's fishing.
It's so stupid.
I would say a submarine is not a fishing boat. You don't fish. But we've...
I thought you have to fish where the fish are.
Knocked down drugs by
They're
water,
underwater.
The oceans, the sea, by 97.2%. Think
That's
of
a lot.
that. And I actually say, who the hell are the 3%? Because I would not want to be piloting one of those boats. We knocked them down, and now we're going to start on land.
It's kind of impressive, honestly.
The land is the easy part. What we did on sea is incredible, and that's our great military. The situation in Minnesota reminds us that the West cannot mass import foreign cultures. which have failed to ever build a successful society of their own. Reminds us that the West cannot mass import foreign cultures which have failed to ever build a successful society of their own.
Thank fucking God. Holy shit. Obviously, this is true. Duh. Of course. Trump actually based. Yes, thank God. I'm so glad that he's saying this stuff. Yes, obviously, if you bring a bunch of people over from a place that's a shithole, the place that they're going to go to is probably going to turn into a shithole too. Obviously, if you just took a random plot of land and you teleported all of the Japanese people to this plot of land, that area is going to look a lot like Japan. It's pretty fucking obvious, but the moment that you apply this to something else, people think that somehow it's racist. No, it's not. It's common sense. Duh, Trump's been watching? Yeah, you're looking at reality. So obviously this is the case. Yes, duh. And I am glad to see that there are a lot of things that I say that Trump ends up saying, right? I don't think that he's watching me or something, right? That's insane. But I do think that it's really nice to be validated, okay? It is. It's great to be validated by the president. That part will be redacted on European TV? Well, yeah, of course, because it would be illegal. But yes, very obviously, we should not be importing people. Like, every single immigrant from every country is not going to have the same effect. And there are definitely going to be, like, averages and means that come out of each different country based off of how well those people on average assimilate, what their education is, how close their culture is to American culture. All of these things are obvious, but to a lot of people, we want to pretend like they're not. The fact is that, yes, very clearly, an immigrant that's coming from, let's say, Sweden, or an immigrant that's coming from the United Kingdom is going to probably, on average, have a higher rate of, assimilation, being able to fit in, being part of the culture. They're going to have a much higher rate of that than somebody coming in from Zimbabwe or from Afghanistan or Pakistan or from Somalia. Like, I'm not saying that it's a 100 to 0, but it's about an average. And if one average is like 10% and the other average is 80%, that's not a number that you can ignore. That's a crazy differentiator. So yes, I'm thinking about you've become a propaganda agent. Well, wait a minute. I'm going to pull you up. You're going to get pulled up. You're getting pulled up. What about what I'm saying do you think is propaganda? What? No. I want to get to the bottom of this. We're going to get to the bottom of this. What about what I'm saying here is propaganda? It's okay. We're going to listen to it. You've been upset about this. Hopefully he's got a good point. Hopefully he's got a good argument here, and then we'll all be smarter because of him. Or is everybody ready to be smarter? Let's get ready to be smarter. Honestly, I really wish some of these chatters would have opinions that were, like, worth talking about, because it helps me run the stream, right? Is that, like, you give me, like, a topic to talk about, and then I can just talk about it at length, right? But, like, so many of you guys that are getting mad in chat, there's not even anything to it. It's just like, you're wrong, this is bad. It's annoying. Yeah, you bounce off of it. Yeah, exactly. But bro, please, can you at least explain it? Can you at least fucking explain what you mean? But now? What does this mean? You don't pull up the good ones, though? I don't think that there are that many good ones. Yes. I don't. Oh my God. You like Devil's Advocate, right? You hate Devil's Advocate, though? I do. If you don't actually think something, I don't want to hear your fake argument. I only see you talking for Trump without any contradiction because I agree with what he's saying here. Why would I contradict what he's saying if I'm agreeing with it? I think he's right. Duh. Is that... Like, you see what I'm saying here? You switch from Dig to Reddit now that Dig is back? Is it really? I never even heard about that. Yeah. If you don't actually think something, I don't want to hear your fake argument. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to see that. Like, people that make fake arguments that they don't actually believe them, they're just wasting time. Yeah, if you don't really believe something, you don't really think something, then, like, there's no real reason to have a conversation about it. It's like, basically you're saying, like, I know I'm wrong, but I just want your attention. If everybody did that, then there'd just be people spamming in chat all day. It would cause too many problems. That's all I have to say. You know, this is the reason why at least I can sometimes appreciate CatDany clips, is that he will at least have an actual criticism that I can talk about. Like, you never give me anything to talk about. You're just like, you're wrong, idiot, that's it. At least, you know, sometimes there will be an accusation, and it's like, okay, well, now we can go off of this. Now we can use this. So let me explain. Let me ask you, you're going to, no, now that you did this, do you agree with what Trump is saying in this clip? Do you agree with it? I'm not asking what I agree with. I'm asking if you agree with it. What do you think? Not what anybody else thinks. What do you think? We're going to hear this. 34 messages in 6 years? Yeah, the guy's kind of based. He's not going to get banned. He's not getting banned. I'll ban him next year when he messages again. I'm not agree with Trump. What if Trump says that you should exercise and eat healthy? What happens if Trump says that water is good for you? What happens then? I mean, I want to understand this. This is like in everything. Gentlemen, thank you very much for your contribution. I really appreciate you being part of today's stream. You're really doing a great job, and I hope you get everything that you want. He's trolling. He is an individual. He is a certain kind of individual, and he is, in fact, a person. That's true. I'm not agree with Trump. I can't agree. Yeah, I can't agree with that. There it is, right, guys?